Hello, I'd like to show you Victorian Country Cottage Garden Journal. It's a semi-soft color and she is 8 3/4 inches tall, 5 3/4 wide, one signature. Show the back too. So she's got some dyed, not sure what you call this. It's like a large doily and it was torn, so I tea dyed that a while ago. And this doily, I think that one, I don't think I dyed that one, it was already aged. And here's some inked, I think that's upholstery trim there. I thought it was pretty. A couple of silk yo-yos with some, I believe these are vintage buttons on there. And I layered the front also with some other lace here and with some tea-dyed cotton here, and created a pocket here for a tag. It's a lovely little charm. These here, these flowers, they were from some earrings. And this pendant I thought went lovely with the colors in this journal. And this picture is what I started with. I loved it. And this is just from a frame. It although it looks vintage, the picture itself was not vintage. It's from a frame that I had gotten to put something else in, but I like the picture, so I kept the picture. And between this and this, that's what inspired this journal. So you'll see most of the colors in here go with this. And on the bottom, on the signature strings, I've got some beads from three different types of jewelry. This is tea-dyed ribbon. And when I untie it, here, let me show you what it looks like on this side. Yeah, it's a bit chunky. But that's what I like about the soft cover, is that you can make it chunky and that just kind of, well, shapes to it. Untie it. You can see this here has been sewn to the cover. And on the inside, I've got some coffee dyed paper. So I think there's 3 layers to the cover. The pocket here made with some fabric sample, and then I've also created a little mini pocket here with a little mini journal made from playing cards and tea-dyed paper. But the colors went perfect with the journal, so it begged to be part of it. And here we've got a silk fabric sample used for cover with a vintage button and 2 different laces. That's vintage lace there. Not sure if that's vintage. And inside I've got some tea-dyed paper for journaling. It's one of my favorites. And in here, this little tuck spot with vintage button and some ribbon here, got a little tally card that's also been made into a little booklet, and it's got a vintage book page there and some tea-dyed papers for extra writing. This is book page, and I just love these illustrations. So pretty. And here's some tea-dyed lace. It was from a lace collar. And on this side, you can see the other bit of the lace too. So I put them together to create a tab. We've got a double lace pocket. I fold the lace up, and we've got a book label there. You can stick it somewhere or just use it for journaling. A couple of little tags in here. And this is an envelope made some writing space on the back as well, made from, I think that's, yeah, antique paper. Envelope, really old book, Waverly book. And a postcard. And that's one of my cats. Hi, Deja. And this here, I believe this is vintage. I've got a whole roll of it. I just love it. Both sides of this actually look nice. A vintage button, a little booklet made from, I think this is a cover, from the cover of a flower book. I've had it for a little while. And I did some tea dyeing with some lovely floral stencils that my daughter recently gave me. And here's a piece of paper from a travel book, vintage one. Nice tuck spot, and there's some of that. This is coffee dyed from that flower stencils that my daughter gave me. Really enjoying those. She was going to give them to me for Christmas, but she couldn't wait to see how I'd react when I saw them, and she she was right. I love them. This postcard here, I think it's an antique. There's no date on it. It's not used, but yeah, it looks pretty old. And a couple of cards there for journaling. Some lace sewn on the edge here. On this page, I made a little journal card. Put a little braided, I guess that's crochet, or not crochet, embroidery thread. And some paper that I hand dyed, and a little butterfly. And this is handmade paper. I didn't make it, but I sure like it. A little recipe there for lavender potpourri. I grow lavender each year. Not lots of plants, but enough to have at least one little bouquet of it to hang up in the house somewhere. And this is book page. And on this side, I have a charm. So on this side matches the page. But on this side matches this side. And this is made from a greeting card. It's a little booklet of tea dye papers for journaling. Love this card. I think I have some more of them too. Hope so. I think it's a Hallmark card too. This is from Book Page. I just love these little illustrations. Just makes me want to go sit down and do some drawing. Lovely, lovely. And rose button here. And some lace here. Well, no, that's not lace. What is it? That's crochet trim. It's been dyed. And here's some dyed cotton with some fussy cuts on top of it. And I got these from, where did I get those from? Oh, actually just from a little dollar store book of pictures for the garden. And here is a vintage postcard. The Cottage. And here, this hangs over the page. Just a little booklet. You can write under there too. I love that little desk. Vintage books there. Bouquet, looks like roses. Could be peonies. Hard to tell. It's pretty small. And some tea dye paper inside. And a button. That just flips over like that. And there's another piece of that, I guess, I'm not sure what you call that, crochet or it's machine made, but anyway, some more of that collar with the brad there. And on this side, you have a tuck spot here with some upholstery trim there, and this opens up for journaling. Lots of room for journaling. Love that picture. And that's a cottage in Cheshire. And here we have a paper clip with some lace on it and a button holding on a piece of lovely scrapbook paper that I got from that book I mentioned that I got those from. And I tea dyed it. Let's take it off and journal on it. And this page here opens up for extra journaling if you take the paper clip off. And here's a postcard. Lovely, lovely colors in that. It's from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. I don't know if that's antique or just vintage, but I thought the colors were lovely. Little charm on there. And this is a tag that I made with napkin decoupage on there. Here we've got vintage doily. This card I thought was pretty, the colors, and then I tea dyed it, and I like how that turned out. So I didn't pay $1.95, but it was in a collection of cards I got secondhand. But I love those colors. And I think this really thick paper here, I think it's either sugar bag or packaging, but when I come across really thick white paper, I just love tea dyeing it because it comes out nice and old looking. And there's another little tag I made with some decoupage napkin on. And here's Queen Anne's lace from my driveway that I pressed and sewed around with this between two layers of wax paper. And there's journaling space on it on both sides. And here's another paper from that little dollar store scrapbook that I got, paper. And this is from a botanical book. There was some little miniatures in it I used for making faux stamps. And here's another paper from that booklet. Turned that into a journaling card. Some tea-dyed cotton on there and a fussy cut from also from that same booklet. And this is from a flower book. And here we've got a pocket sewn on there, tag for journaling on. I've just braided something through there. Got a journal card here made from an index card. I like that color. It goes with this, which is a faux stamp that I made, and this is a fussy cut bird from an old bird book. And this has been stamped onto some tea-dye cotton. There's some stamping there. Excuse me. And this is from an envelope. I like the faint floral pattern on there. A little journal card inside. And here's the other part of it. It's not as faint. Isn't that beautiful? And this is from a greeting card, and I turned it into smaller versions to make it look like a weathered postcard. And here is some collaging that I did. I did a bunch of them one day, using up scraps literally just as they were out of a box. And I stamped free on there. The little bird definitely singing like he's free. And here is it's a little bit fragile. It's a pocket made from tea bag. And this is from, I think, a 1920s or 1930s music book. I thought that was cute. And I stamped a butterfly on this cotton there. And there's another fussy cut from that book I was mentioning. Recipe card, perfect for a journal card. Had to go in here because of the color. And there's some more paper too from that book. More fussy cut from that book. And this was a piece of map, but the color was perfect for here from a vintage book. And there's ferns, a little botanical picture from the other book I had mentioned. Some address book paper. Some dyed paper that I did myself from some onion skins. And this is, well, Edith Holton, right? This, oh my goodness, this picture, what a sweetie pie. That was from, I think, a Victorian magazine. I had to put that in there. And there's the coffee dyeing I did with the floral stencils my daughter gave me. Journaling spot there. Some ledger paper here with some fussy cut from that same little booklet I've been mentioning. And some stamping. Share the moments that bring you joy. Oh, I was doing that this morning. Had some really sweet things happen this weekend. Got to spend extra time with my grandson. And a little full butterfly stamp. A little bit of tea-dyed fabric there with a fussy cut on there. And another faux stamp. Had those for a while. Got those from Amazon. And this, you probably are getting tired of this, but I'm not. I love this set of cards, so I want to, whenever there's a page where this goes, I like to make a little booklet. Tea-dyed paper in it. And the nice thing about this is it can hang over here. It goes on this page, and when you turn the page, it goes on this page too. And there's the other part of that collage I did with scraps of paper. That's fabric sample made into a tab. Goes perfect with this jacket. And her skirt. Here's a little envelope that I made and stamped on, and it's got a little journal card in there. Some handmade paper with a pocket sewn on it with some stamping. Piece of paper from an address book made into a journal card. And here's a vintage card from, from a deck of cards. And we've got journaling space on both sides of this. And isn't this cool? Man, if I could replicate that. I tea-dyed it, but I don't remember why it did that or how it did that, but I'll take it. I love it. And on this side, oh, did I finish flipping it? No, I didn't. Yeah, on this side, there's a tuck spot for an index card that's been tea-dyed as well. And look at the way that dyeing turned out. Very earthy. And on this side, I have one of my faux stamps, wax seals, pardon me, and a little journal card that I made from some vintage book page about trees. I stamped a butterfly on there. And here's a butterfly from a butterfly book. I forgot all about it, that I've had probably for 20, maybe 25 years. Anyways, it's not the greatest book, but the pictures in it, oh my, some of the pictures. So I'm having fun with that. And then I strengthen the antennae by putting some gluing on the back, some of the waxed thread that I use for sewing signatures into the journal, because there's always leftover pieces. So they're perfect because they're strong and they reinforce it. Here's another bit of tea dyeing I did with those stencils my daughter gave me. A little tuck spot there. Little booklet for journaling in. And a little card for journaling on too. I like this page. And there's one of those little neat framey things I've been making. And if you want, you can take this paper out and use it as a pattern to cut out a picture, or you can just leave that in there and it's a journaling spot. And it's also a tuck spot underneath here. And this was something I also had tea dyed. And the card that's in there, lovely swans. Our swans are back in our valley. They come here every winter. This is from Denmark though, and it looks like it's vintage. This was fun. I took apart a card that Handmade card got with some cards from the thrift store, made it into a little booklet so that it would fit in here because I liked the colors of it. I thought that went with this book. And then turned this into a tuck spot a little journal card that I made with a vintage button on it, with some fabric sample that goes with it. And I thought this also goes with it, some tea-dyed note paper. And then it all goes into there. Here's another postcard, and this one is from Yellowstone. Don't know if it's vintage, but yellow I had to include because there's yellow in here. And then I made some little tags here. You can take this off because it's just a ball pin. And these are made from a unusually very yellow index card that I tea-dyed. I like how the coffee dyeing came out on this. Started doing some coffee dyeing, just brushing it on, not always necessarily soaking it like I do with the tea ones. And this here, I think it might be the last one. I keep thinking that's the last one and it's not, but I think it is this time, boohoo. But it's from a set of, I think they're vintage shower cards. And they're so cute. So I made a little tuck spot there with that. Put some silk on it, and you can journal on the back. It's got this vintage altered paper clip there. And on this side, it's holding I think I've got extra writing on this. Yeah, I added some paper to that. And it's a little Bible verse, and there's some paper on it for journaling. And this is a lovely page with teeny tiny drawings from a book. I happened to get 2 of those from a thrift store, so I'm really happy, because then what happens is if I know I have 2, then I don't mind cutting one up, because otherwise it's hard to. And I thought this page was delicious. It goes with this here, little fairy charm, and this is some handmade paper with, not that I made it, but it's handmade, some tea dyed pages in it, and there's the picture behind it. I didn't want to cover that up, but I thought, hey, if I make a tuck spot there. And this here is, I think this might be vintage. People use this for making curtains because you can put those little hooks in there. But I think it makes lovely trim in a junk journal. This is from a vintage book, and that's the back of the other page of that gift book. Here's a card from the thrift store, and it got the colors, the theme went nice with this. It's tea dyed, and it's one of those mouth painted cards. And on this side we have another unused card that's been tea dyed. Definitely suits the theme and colors of this journal. Feeding the Doves it's called. That's a copy of a painting from an artist. Painted this, oh well, he died in 1927, so probably painted this 100 years ago. Okay, now this one here is a little booklet I made from some hummingbird stationery and some tea dye paper. And I put some fabric along the edge that match the colors of it. And this is from that book that had the lovely pictures at the beginning here. I guess it was a day book. Love this too. So you see how there's the other side of it there. Yeah, and you can write on that side as well. And there's room to write on here. And I forgot to mention, faux wax seal there with a little piece of fern from my garden. And a tag for journaling on here with a piece of lace on it. And here, I've had these for a while, these little dots, and little Velcro dots, but just hadn't used them. And then I thought, well, this is nice writing space. I don't want to cover it up, but if I put this here, there's little scrappies here, you can have a secret writing spot behind it. Plus you can write on the back of this too. And this was something that I thrifted. I thought it was pretty. It's 1979, and you can journal on the back. The colors I thought went with this book. Brings back memories, fishing with my dad, and my husband and I, we've gone fishing together too. And there we be. I really like the gentle, soothing colors of this one. Almost forgot what was in it because I finished it over a week ago, but we've had a postal strike that looks like it's ending tomorrow, at least for now. So I thought, well, I'll share this one. Not sure if I'll list it today or tomorrow, but at least I got the filming done because I'm getting rusty. Didn't film anything last week for here, and yeah, I feel like I'm a newbie already. Take care. Thanks for watching.